Mark Easton, BBC News, Manchester.
Well, let's speak to Carly Barrett. Her sister Samantha was 18 when she died in a knife attack in 2007. Carly now runs programmes in schools to educate young people on knife crime. Welcome here to the programme. So tell me, when you go into schools, what do you say to youngsters and what do you tell them about your sister?
So when we visit schools, we don't actually tell them that we have lost a loved one to knife crime. We start off by we show a short video of Samantha, and at the end of the video it says, "Meet my mum and my sister. They are my voice now." So the video is kind of portraying, that Samantha is telling her own story. So by the end of that video, that the young people are shocked to actually see that that is our story as well. That we actually lost Samantha, and I am Samantha's sister.
I know you concentrate so much on trying to educate young people. I'm intrigued, when you speak in schools, what are the sorts of things they ask you?
So we have a lot of questions, a lot of engagement with young people. A lot of the questions are how have we survived, and how do we have the strength to stand in front of the young people and tell the story. And that strength comes, it's inner strength, and it comes because we're so passionate about making change for the young people. It's been 17 years since we've lost Samantha, and daily now we are seeing on the news that another life has been lost to knife crime, and we're trying to prevent people living the lives that we've unfortunately had to live. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, and we are living proof that you can get through it, but every day we have to live without Samantha.
Which is so difficult, the anguish of that, it just never ends. But in terms of those pupils you talk to, do they ever admit to carrying a knife to you in those sorts of sessions?
So at the beginning, I think at the beginning they kind of wouldn't admit it, but then once they listen to our story and that they realise that actually, these people who we're talking about, including Samantha, that aren't just figures, they're actually real people. And they do admit by the end, actually, I have carried a knife, or I am involved in criminality. And then it's our job then to, source different avenues for them, to support them. And, that we do keep in contact with a lot of people, where they are on our social medias, where they can contact us, and where we talk about different avenues that they can go down to get out of the situations that they are in.
You will have seen the proliferation of these zombie knives, the machetes. What do you think is going on?
I think, the new law is a great step forward. But in my eyes, like just what's being said, I don't think it's going to stop knife crime completely. I think the root cause is, the sentences around carrying knives. One thing we do in the education is we state a lot of laws, and one law that I always think, that they're going to laugh at us for is stating that you can get a prison sentence for carrying a knife. But actually, they'll tell me they know nobody who's actually got a sentence for carrying a knife. They'll say, their friend was caught carrying a knife, but nothing actually happened to them. And, there needs to be a deterrent for young people. They need to know if they're carrying a knife on the street, that, there's going to be consequences and something is going to happen to them.
So it's not just about an amnesty. We heard from Mark Easton saying that we've got some of the toughest laws there are on knife crime, but you think they have to focus not just on these sorts of amnesties, but on the sentencing itself for first offences?
Absolutely. If you look into people who have unfortunately committed murder with knife, they've actually been caught even a month, even some cases, before carrying a knife. But if they had been, if something had happened to them then when they'd been caught carrying the knife, maybe they wouldn't have committed that murder. And young people need to know that something is going to happen to them if they're carrying the knives. And it's just a daily occurrence for young people now, and it became a normality for young people to carry knives.
Carly Barrett, we have to leave it there, but we're very grateful for your time. Thanks for joining us here on today's programme.
Thank you. Thanks.